Do you know about parasympathomimetic drugs? Do you know about cholinergic drugs? Do you know about cholinomimetic drugs? Here I have been discussed about parasympathomimetic drugs, but in this session I will discuss about sympatholytic drugs. I think you know the different drugs of parasympathomimetics drug that are acetylcholine, methacholine, bethanecol, carbachol, pilocarpine, and anticholinesterase, or you can say acetylcholinesterase inhibitors, physostigmine, neostigmine, pyridostigmine. That's all. And here I will discuss about parasympatholytic drugs, or you can say anticholinergic drugs. You know the steps of neurotransmission at cholinergic nerve endings. In cholinergic drugs, main neurotransmitter will be acetylcholine. So here you can say the steps of synthesis or steps of neurotransmission in parasympathomimetic drugs or parasympathetic nerve ending. That's a synthesis of acetylcholine, and next that storage of acetylcholine in vesicles, release of acetylcholine, then binding of acetylcholine to the receptor present in postsynaptic nerve ending, then acetylcholine reuptake, again acetylcholine function and metabolism. That's all. But here parasympatholytic drug is used. Why this drug is used? What happened after using this drug? Parasympatholytic or anticholinergic drugs blocks acetylcholine binding site, or you can say these drugs block acetylcholine activity. Okay, and this anti-acetylcholinergic drug, also known as antimuscarinics. Definition you have to know. These are the drugs which inhibit the action of acetylcholine in the parasympathetic nervous system. The drug classification, pharmacological classification of drug, that is muscarinic antagonist, atropinic drugs, or parasympatholytics, or you can say anticholinergic drugs. You have to know this class of drugs, and this is important. You have to remember anyhow. Like you can say natural alkaloids, atropine and hyoscine. Hyoscine also known as scopolamine. And semisynthetic derivatives, atropine, methonitrate, homatriptan, hyoscine butyl bromide, homatropine, ipratropium bromide, tiotropium bromide. This ipratropium bromide and tiotropium bromide is used for the treatment of asthma and COPD. You will get it in next slides. In synthetic compounds, you can see some drugs have anti-secretory and antispasmodic activity. If you know the pharmacological classification of drugs, you can write the therapeutic uses of that drug. Suppose in anti-secretory, antispasmodic drug, like some quaternary and some tertiary amines is there. In quaternary compounds, there is propanthelin, oxyphenonium, pipenzolate, isopropamide, glycopyrrolate, and tertiary amines, dicyclomine, pyrenzepine. These drugs are used in you will get dicyclomine also used for the treatment of stomach pain, and propanthelin also, as because these have antispasmodic activity. And some drugs like mydriatics, cyclopentolate and tropicamide. You have to remember these drugs, mydriatics. In exam they may ask which of the following anticholinergic drugs have mydriatic activity. Then there may be options of this. And basicoselective drug like oxybutynin, flavoxate, tolterodine, antiparkinsonian drugs like trihexyphenidyl, biperidine, procyclidine. In exam you may get questions like this: which of the following anticholinergic drugs used for the treatment of Parkinson? You will get options. If you remember this, you can answer that. Common mechanism of action of anticholinergic drugs, these anticholinergic drugs binds to the acetylcholine receptor, and these are competitive antagonists. Here you have to know competitive and non-competitive antagonism. If you have idea regarding that, then it's in competitive antagonist, the anticholinergic drugs and acetylcholine receptors. Acetylcholine have similar structures, and it has same binding affinity to the receptors. So here competitive antagonist means anticholinergic drugs will compete with acetylcholine for binding with the acetylcholine receptors, which is present in parasynaptic nerves ending, postsynaptic nerve ending. So the atropine is the prototype drug in anticholinergic drugs. If you know one means about atropine, it is enough, more than enough. You have to know the about atropine, mechanism of action of atropine, pharmacological action of atropine, uses, side effects, and pharmacokinetics. If you know one, it will be more than enough. In atropine, here you can see atropine is derived from one of the plant, that is Atropa belladonna, or you can say Datura. Do you know about Datura? This Datura is scientific name is Atropa belladonna. From there, atropine is derived. After pharmacological action of atropine, or you can, if you know this pharmacological action of action, that means all parasympatholytic drugs have this type of pharmacological action. Here I have discussed the pharmacological action of atropine, that it have activity on cardiovascular system. That means in cardiovascular system it increase heart rate. In CNS, central nervous system, atropine, Parkinsonism is one of the disease, CNS related disease. For the treatment of Parkinsonism, it can be used. And atropine acts as CNS stimulant, which leads to hallucination, excitement. It may also leads to depression. It may also atropine also have anti-motion activity, sickness properties, anti-motion sickness properties. Means during traveling, vomiting sensation is there, that is known as morning. You can say and like in eye, activity of atropine in eye, you can say was atropine have mydriatic activity. And in gastrointestinal system, you can see atropine relax the gastrointestinal tract muscles, smooth muscles. It leads to decrease gastric acid secretion. Also it decrease motility and peristalsis. In respiratory system, atropine have bronchodilation activity. This may also COPD. In genitourinary system, atropine relax ureters, smooth muscle. So this can be used for the treatment of, or you can say in atropine also relax detrusor muscles. In glandular, you can see atropine decrease secretion, salivary secretion. That means it cause dry mouth and decrease gastric acid secretion. It may used for the treatment of peptic ulcers. It decrease sweating. It may leads to dry skin and decrease bronchial secretion. This may used. Then in therapeutic uses, if I have already I have said, if you know the pharmacological class of drugs, then you can write the therapeutic uses. Suppose here you can see for the treatment of Parkinson's disease, benztropine and trihexyphenidyl is used. And you can see motion sickness, scopolamine is used. Here cardiovascular system, this atropine may decrease cardiac. You already have know atropine is used to increase heart rate. In case of bradycardias, atropine may be used. In respiratory system, that means atropine have bronchodilation activity. That means it may use for the treatment of asthma and COPD, that is chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. In here you can see ipratropium and tiotropium. These two drugs is used for the treatment of COPD and asthma. Means majorly these two drugs is used. In gastrointestinal system, this atropine, or you can say some specific drug is there, like pyrenzipine is used for that peptic ulcer. Butyl scopolamine is acts as antispasmodic, and IBD, irritable bowel disease, propantheline is used. These drugs, you have to remember these drugs, underline drugs and specific uses. In MCQs they may ask which of the following drugs is used for this. A specific drug of action you have, suppose basic or selected drugs, oxybutynin is used. Oxybutynin is there, and this used for detrusor hyperperiflexia. And you can say homatropine and tropicamide. These two drugs have mydriasis activity. In drug classification you have seen. So in treatment of mydriasis, these two drugs is tropicamide. Some side effects. These are the common side effects may cause due to the anticholinergic drugs, like in cardiovascular system it may cause increased heart rate, and in CNS it causes restlessness, disorientation, hallucination, delirium. In eye it may dilate pupils. In gastrointestinal system it decrease salivation, decrease gastric secretions, decrease motility. In genitourinary it leads to urinary retention. In glandular, decrease sweating, and respiratory, decrease bronchial secretion. Diseases like in, but you have to remember the common side effects of that anticholinergic drugs, that are dry mouth, dry skin, constipation, and diarrhea. These are the common side effects of anticholinergic drug. In MCQs, number of question is there from parasympatholytic drugs or anticholinergic drug. Some contraindication is there in this. In some conditions, this anticholinergic drugs is not used, like glaucoma, prostate hypertrophy, urinary tract obstruction, in infectious diarrhea, angina, hyperthyroidism, pregnancy. Anticholinergic individual drugs is there, which individual uses is there. You have to remember this individual drugs and individual treatment, at what condition this specific drug is used. You have to remember this is very, very important. This slide is very, very important for you. That's all about anticholinergic drugs. This is sympatholytic and anticholinergic drug is very, very important in B Pharm, M Pharm. Along with in PhD you have to know this, know about this, means drugs acting on CNS, drug acting on PNS, or drugs acting on ANS. These are very, very important topic. You have to remember this all. So thank you so much.